TK is also very good at what are called modal windows. And to me, this is where stuff gets really cool with TK because it really goes deep into the operating system and what you can do there. I can get a file name from anywhere on my computer, and it will put the entire path to that file in this variable, which means I can open any file now. Up to this point, we've been playing around with files in Python, but we've been like, well, we just kind of put them in the same directory to make it easier on ourselves so we don't have to put in the whole path. Well, now we don't have to worry about it when we're working with TK because literally if I need to include this import, but if I do this, it will just pop open a file dialog box, and they are native to that operating system. So let's just show you how easy this is. I'm going to get rid of this stuff because it's just annoying me. All right, so I'm going to import that dialog box, and then how about this? I'm going to use this. No, I'm not. I changed my mind. I'm not. I'm going to use this function as a way of change my mind. Sorry. I'm just going to put it right down here and just have it pop that open when I run that program. And then I'm going to, as soon as I choose a file, I'm going to have it print the file name. Now watch this. So it opens a file dialog box. And so I choose that image. And look, it prints the whole path to that, which means I can open that up now in anything. In fact, I could use that and not use any of the other features in TK. I could just use the TK library to open files if I wanted to. So that's a pretty powerful thing that literally in one line of code, we can get that information from the user and open files from anywhere on the computer using the native dialog box. I really like that ability that we have there. So we've got a file dialog. Not only that, a color chooser. So if you want to allow the user to select the color, again, these are the native color choosers from that, and it will give you back a hex code for whatever color they choose. So you can use that in your applications. We also have message boxes. If you want to just send the user a message and pause and wait for them to acknowledge it, notice you can include different things in there and control the message. You can also do things like ask yes or no. And this, by the way, will return a true or false depending on which one they choose, that you can then use to control the program. You can also get a simple dialog box. So on this one, I'm using simple dialog as SD.ask string. They have one for different types of different data types. So I give it a title, and I give it some text. The user types in their thing. This is almost the exact same thing as using the input function, but now we're doing it in a visual way. And this is an actual screenshot from my computer of what that looks like. So it looks good, it works well, and it's pretty amazing, honestly. So here's a couple of programs. This one is straight out of the documentation that is linked from Canvas for you all. And it's not a super long program, but it's similar to the calculator that we've been playing around with since almost the beginning of this class. So I have this little window that pops up, and if I put in a value in feet and I hit calculate, it shows the equivalency in meters. So what it makes use of is we've got 4 different label objects. So we've got an entry, a label, another label, and this is a dynamic label that will take the results of the conversion function and display them, and then a button that triggers the conversion. So that is that one. So here's another one that I've just been playing around with. And this one is packed with a margin, so it doesn't butt up against the very side. So when I pack that, you can tell pad X or pad Y. This is also using a couple of different frames. So there's some of this on our class website in Canvas. Let's go back here. And if you go into module 17, which is what we're on. Okay, so the textbook has some pretty extensive sample code for the different types of widgets that we just talked about. This tutorial is very good. The TK interface widgets will give you a little bit more detail than what I just went into. This whole site is actually very good. It's built around TK, and you can see there's more widgets. So we've got list boxes, and here's how they might function in a sample code, and it's got lots and lots of sample code that you can literally just copy and paste. One thing you do need to be aware of, though, is that this website covers TK use in 4 different languages: Python, TCL, Ruby, and Perl. So anytime you're looking at sample code, make sure you're looking at the Python one. It's got that blue and yellow snake logo. Just make sure that you're getting Python code for each of those. But we've got examples. Let's see what else, if I keep going here. Scroll bars. You've got a multi-line text box, a sliding scale, what's called a spin box, which is usually to go up or down in a list, and progress bars, which you probably won't use, but if you're downloading something or you're opening something or say doing something that takes a while, you show the user your progress. It shows you how to use fonts, colors, and images, and lots of different stuff. Way more than I could even probably cover in a whole class about TK. So this is really just to sort of get your feet wet, give you an idea of how it works, and let you play around with it. The first real example here explains that calculator code that I just showed you. It explains their whole process of building that and how it works and all of that stuff. So that's a really valuable one. And then there's the sample code for Python right there that you can take and start playing around with. There's also a practice file here that I created for you that's just got some basic structure to it, so you can play around as well. So there's lots and lots of sample code, lots of different ways to do things. And you can kind of basically, what I want you to do today is start building a layout. We haven't really talked about interacting much with the widgets, but what I want you to start thinking about is what program do you want to, if you want to do this assignment, what program are you going to create with it? Basically, the assignment is to take any of the programs except for assignment one, any of the assignments that we've done in the past, and create a graphical user interface for that program. So calculator, rock, paper, scissors, the banking one, the playlist, any of those is fair game. The employee database, whatever you want to do, give it a graphical user interface and make it functional. So if you want to think about which one you want to do and start building the window and packing the widgets into that window, then on Thursday we'll come back and we'll do some actual like putting the code to those and attaching functions to different pieces and making it work. So that's kind of the game plan for the rest of this week. And I think that's it. So we got about 35 minutes left in class. If you want to play around or try some stuff out, I highly recommend playing with this because it is something that takes a little getting used to.